Are your thoughts truly your own? What if an agency was tapping into something far bigger than our individual minds? This isn't just a conspiracy theory. It's about your personal sovereignty. In a world saturated with information and subtle manipulation, understanding the nature of consciousness itself becomes your first line of defense. The stakes are nothing less than your ability to think freely and direct your own life. What if a leaked CIA briefing revealed their understanding and potential manipulation of universal consciousness? Imagine a world where the very fabric of reality is being explored, not for enlightenment, but for strategic advantage. The core premise is this: universal consciousness is a real, interconnected field that the CIA has explored for potential strategic advantage, possibly through methods that exploit or suppress individual awareness. This is a story as old as time, hidden knowledge and suppressed potential. Throughout history, esoteric wisdom has been guarded, persecuted, or twisted for the benefit of a select few, and this pattern may continue today with restricted information or controversial research. Let's define universal consciousness, UC, from multiple perspectives. Spiritually, it's the interconnectedness of all beings. Scientifically, it echoes quantum entanglement. And operationally, it could be viewed as a field of influence. Understanding UC is crucial for individual empowerment in a world where powerful institutions may be seeking to control it. The potential impact ranges from subtle manipulation of thoughts and emotions to larger-scale influence on societal beliefs and behaviors. Consider the parallels to current information warfare and psychological operations. Are these merely tactics or symptoms of a deeper game? This information could change your understanding of reality, personal power, and your relationship to the world around you. At the heart of this exploration are the themes of control versus freedom, illusion versus reality, power versus empowerment, and suppression versus awakening. Let's not forget the CIA's historical interest in psychic phenomena through projects like MK Ultra and Stargate. Imagine how techniques used in MK Ultra, sensory deprivation, hypnosis, could be applied to manipulate or access universal consciousness. We will explore quantum physics, ancient mysticism, and psychological manipulation as key areas to explore. There's a pattern of the scientific establishment suppressing research that challenges the status quo. Is the leaked briefing real? Consider that the rabbit hole goes much deeper than a single leaked document. Perhaps you might already be experiencing subtle signs of manipulation or disconnect from UC in your own life. Prepare for an upcoming exploration of specific techniques for protecting against manipulation, accessing UC, and unlocking personal potential. If the CIA were studying universal consciousness, what would that even look like? How do you quantify something so inherently unquantifiable? Perhaps the leaked briefing defined UC operationally, not as a spiritual concept, but as a network. A network for gathering information, exerting remote influence, and even, precognitively, predicting future events. Imagine the agency's analysts trying to map global emotional states or predict larger-scale human behavior by tapping into this field. It wouldn't be about enlightenment. It would be about actionable intelligence. This perspective alone presents a paradigm shift to what many may assume universal consciousness is meant for. Within this framework, everything becomes signal and noise. The signal might be specific information or intentions they want to extract or amplify, while the noise would be everything else: the random thoughts, emotions, and background hum of collective consciousness. Think of it as information warfare on a cosmic scale, where the goal is to amplify certain opinions while marginalizing others. Propaganda isn't just about persuading individuals. It's about shaping the very fabric of shared reality. How do you filter out the noise? And how do you ensure that your signal is the one that resonates most powerfully? Access becomes key. Are we all equally connected to this field, or are there different levels of access? Perhaps the briefing outlined a spectrum, from untrained individuals barely aware of their connection, to skilled meditators consciously tapping into deeper levels. all the way to individuals using technology or even pharmaceuticals to enhance or bypass natural access points. Could the CIA have developed or even discovered methods to artificially enhance or bypass these natural access points? Maybe advanced sensory deprivation techniques, psychoactive substances, or focused sonic frequencies act as keys, unlocking doors to previously inaccessible realms of consciousness. But with access comes vulnerability. What are the potential weaknesses of this interconnected web? The briefing might have focused on points of influence and manipulation. What if fear, trauma, or misinformation could distort or even block access to universal consciousness? Consider how societal control mechanisms, like media manipulation, might be used to deliberately create these blockages, keeping people disconnected from their innate intuitive abilities. UC attacks even possible disruptions of another individual's or group's access, or the injection of false information directly into the field. This could take the form of psychological warfare, smear campaigns, or coordinated disinformation efforts designed to sow confusion and discord. It's easy to dismiss remote viewing as pseudoscience, but consider Project Stargate. The archived footage and transcripts, while often vague, hinted at the potential to gather information across vast distances. Was this just the tip of the iceberg? Perhaps Stargate was an initial, clumsy attempt to tap into universal consciousness for intelligence gathering, a stepping stone toward more sophisticated methods of accessing and manipulating this field. The pattern is clear. The government's initial public claim is almost always for a benign intention, but later evidence often suggests more manipulative, self-serving practices. Think of the initial promises of Stargate versus the later analysis suggesting ulterior motives, such as identifying potential threats or even influencing foreign leaders. Let's connect these dots. MK Ultra, on the surface, was about mind control and interrogation techniques. Declassified documents reveal the project's unsettling scope, highlighting the focus on altering consciousness through drugs, sensory deprivation, and psychological manipulation. But what if their experiments weren't just about controlling individual minds, but about tapping into something far greater? What if MK Ultra was the dark precursor to a deeper exploration of universal consciousness? Imagine how UC research could have leveraged MK Ultra findings. Altered states of consciousness, induced through trauma or drugs, might serve as gateways to access or influence UC. The idea of consciousness implants emerges post-hypnotic suggestions or subliminal messages strategically placed to shape beliefs and behaviors connected to UC. This isn't science fiction. It resonates with what we know about neuro-linguistic programming and targeted advertising. The subtle shaping of our thoughts and desires may be far more pervasive than we realize. Specific UC manipulation tactics might include disrupting the natural flow of information, implanting carefully crafted suggestions, and even creating artificial realities within the field. The CIA, masters of narrative control, might use these tactics to shape collective beliefs and behaviors. Consider how carefully crafted narratives are pushed through media channels to shape public opinion on complex issues, potentially influencing the collective consciousness in subtle yet profound ways. Reflecting on the ethical implications is vital. The potential for abuse and unintended consequences is staggering. The pattern is undeniable, a consistent disregard for ethics in government projects when the perceived stakes are high. The lack of informed consent in MK Ultra serves as a chilling reminder of how easily individual rights can be trampled in the name of national security. Are similar violations occurring now, hidden beneath the veil of secrecy surrounding UC research? This potential should send a chill down the spine of anyone concerned with freedom and personal autonomy. In light of these possibilities, what practical steps can we take to protect ourselves? Mindfulness techniques become essential tools for guarding against external suggestion and manipulation. Cultivating self-awareness, critical thinking, and the ability to question our own thoughts and beliefs are vital defenses. Grounding exercises, practices that help us stay connected to the present moment, can also help us resist the pull of artificial realities. Feel your feet on the ground, breathe deeply, and remind yourself of your own inherent presence. These simple acts can serve as powerful anchors in a world increasingly designed to pull us away from ourselves. But what does science have to say about all this? Is the idea of interconnectedness just wishful thinking, or is there a scientific basis for it? Quantum entanglement and non-locality, while complex, offer a tantalizing glimpse into the interconnected nature of reality. Think of entangled particles as linked coins. When one lands on heads, the other instantly lands on tails, regardless of the distance separating them. Could this be a microcosm of a larger interconnectedness that permeates the universe, providing a scientific basis for UC? Numerous scientists explored consciousness, despite facing ridicule and resistance from the scientific establishment. Rupert Sheldrake's work on morphic resonance, for example, suggests that memories and behaviors can be transmitted across generations through a field of information. Dean Radin's research on psychic phenomena provides evidence that consciousness can influence physical systems. These scientists challenge the prevailing materialist view, which asserts that consciousness is merely a byproduct of brain activity. The suppression of research that challenges materialist viewpoints isn't just a matter of scientific debate. It has profound implications for our understanding of ourselves and our place in the universe. Panpsychism offers an alternative perspective, suggesting that consciousness is a fundamental property of the universe, present in all things. If everything is conscious, to some degree, then the idea of a universal consciousness becomes not just plausible, but almost inevitable. But how might this framework be co-opted or suppressed to maintain existing power structures? A materialist worldview, which reinforces a sense of separation and individual powerlessness, serves the interests of those who seek to control and manipulate. If we believe that we are merely biological machines, then we are less likely to question the systems that control us. Even the placebo and nocebo effects demonstrate the power of consciousness to influence physical reality. Studies have shown that the placebo effect can be remarkably effective in treating pain, depression, and even certain physical ailments. Conversely, the nocebo effect demonstrates how negative beliefs and expectations can worsen health outcomes. These effects highlight the potent connection between mind and body, suggesting that our thoughts and beliefs have a direct impact on our physical well-being. Imagine how these effects might be amplified within the context of universal consciousness, where collective beliefs can shape reality on a larger scale. Consider orgone energy research as an example of suppressed scientific inquiry that challenged conventional understanding. Wilhelm Reich's work, while controversial, suggested the existence of a life force energy that permeated all living things. His research was ultimately discredited and suppressed, serving as a cautionary tale of what happens when scientific inquiry challenges the established order. Researchers who challenge the dominant scientific paradigm are often ridiculed, discredited, or suppressed, reinforcing the notion that unconventional ideas are a threat to the status quo. Is this because these new ideas could give power to the individuals rather than the current elite? Ultimately, the power to shape reality lies within each of us. The power of intention, drawing on principles from both quantum physics and spiritual traditions, suggests that our thoughts and beliefs have a direct impact on the world around us. The double-slit experiment, for example, demonstrates how the act of observation can influence the behavior of quantum particles. By focusing our attention and intention, we can harness this power to create positive change in our lives and in the world. However, it's crucial to align our intentions with positive values. The power of intention can be used for selfish or harmful purposes, as well as for good. Cultivating a positive mindset, focusing on gratitude, and acting with compassion are essential for ensuring that our intentions manifest in a way that benefits ourselves and others. How different would the world be if everyone aligned their intentions with love and compassion, rather than fear and greed? Ultimately, we are co-creators of our reality. It's time to embrace our role and take personal responsibility for our thoughts, feelings, and actions. We are not passive victims of circumstance, but active agents capable of shaping our lives and the world around us. Remember, the elite may intentionally keep people disempowered through limiting beliefs and societal structures, but we have the power to break free from these limitations and reclaim our personal sovereignty. The media, education system, and government often play a role in shaping public perception and reinforcing limiting beliefs. By challenging these narratives and seeking out alternative perspectives, we can begin to dismantle the structures that keep us disempowered. You have the ability to use the same universal consciousness to manifest positive change in your own lives and in the world around you. Start by setting clear intentions, visualizing desired outcomes, and taking inspired action. Overcoming doubt, fear, and resistance is an inevitable part of the process, but remember that you are more powerful than you realize. If one can shift from a victim mentality to an empowered creator, they can see the chains disappear. Can you see that the sense of limitation and powerlessness has been replaced with a sense of agency and unlimited potential? As we continue to explore these ideas, consider how you can awaken to your own universal self and begin to shape your reality with intention and awareness. So, what about that leaked briefing? Is it real? Does it even matter? Regardless of whether that specific document came from the CIA, the ideas it presents the potential for universal consciousness to be a force, a network, an arena of influence. Those ideas are valid and warrant consideration. We've explored the potential implications, the possible applications, and the very real dangers. The truth is, even without that briefing, it's more than likely that the CIA, like any intelligence agency, would be keenly interested in anything that could provide a strategic advantage. History is full of examples of governments exploring fringe science, from psychic phenomena to weather manipulation, all in the name of national security, or perhaps more accurately, control. The pattern of suppressed knowledge, of challenging ideas being sidelined or ridiculed, isn't new. Throughout history, those in power have often sought to control the narrative, to suppress information that threatens their dominance. It's not always malicious. It's often simply a consequence of the way power works. Those who benefit from the status quo are incentivized to maintain it, and that often means suppressing dissenting voices or unconventional ideas. But understanding this pattern is crucial because it reveals the importance of individual sovereignty, the need to protect your own consciousness from external manipulation. The core understanding we've arrived at is this: universal consciousness is a real and potent force. It can be manipulated, yes, but it can also be harnessed for positive change. The choice is ours. We can choose to be passive victims, swept along by the currents of manipulation, or we can choose to be empowered creators, consciously shaping our own reality. The shift in perspective is everything. It's about recognizing that you are not just a puppet in someone else's play. You are the playwright, the director, and the star of your own show. Cultivating self-awareness, critical thinking, and conscious intention is the key. Question everything, especially your own beliefs. Be mindful of the thoughts and emotions that arise within you, and learn to discern between what is truly yours and what has been implanted from external sources. Master your own awareness, take responsibility for your own life, and step into your power. It is your job to use the agency you were gifted with. Understanding universal consciousness isn't just an abstract exercise. It has real-world implications. In a world that is becoming increasingly complex and manipulative, understanding how our minds can be influenced is more important than ever. From misinformation campaigns to echo chambers, we are constantly bombarded with forces that seek to shape our perceptions and control our thoughts. This understanding will help you better deal with societal issues like political divides and hatred towards one another. But by understanding the principles of universal consciousness, we can learn to navigate these forces with greater awareness and resilience. The pattern of control and suppression that we've explored reveals the importance of individual sovereignty. It highlights the need to protect our own consciousness from external manipulation. Become an active participant in shaping your own life and community. When awareness of universal consciousness becomes more widespread, the result would be a more conscious and connected society that could lead to greater empathy, cooperation, and positive change. Imagine if we could harness the power of collective consciousness to solve global problems, to create a world of peace, prosperity, and harmony. But we must also acknowledge the potential dangers. The misuse of universal consciousness could have devastating consequences. We must consider the ethical implications of this knowledge and guard against the temptation to use it for personal gain or manipulation. It's essential to approach this power with humility, responsibility, and a deep commitment to the well-being of all. This understanding should transform into a personal responsibility. Each individual has a responsibility to use their understanding of universal consciousness for good, to promote truth, and to protect the freedom of others. For too long, the elites have been making all of these decisions for everyone's lives, and it is time to step out of the shadows and manifest the lives that everyone wants to be a part of. It is time for the collective to start making decisions and acting according to their visions. We've explored the connections between quantum physics, ancient mysticism, and psychological manipulation. We've seen how these seemingly disparate fields all point to the power of consciousness. Now it's time to take that knowledge and put it into action. Research other fields that can lead to a better understanding of the role of the mind and the power of awareness. Consider the insights offered by psychology, neuroscience, and even history itself. These are the fields that will continue to shape our understanding of consciousness in the years to come. Use the tools that have been presented. Practice mindfulness, set positive intentions, and engage in critical thinking. Question everything, trust your intuition, and never stop learning. By taking these concrete steps, you can harness your own universal consciousness abilities and protect yourself from manipulation. If you are feeling that it all may be lost, just remember that the only tool that the elites had over humanity was to trick people into thinking that they had no control over their lives. Now, the elites are losing their grip as people are awakening to their full potential. So, let's return to those initial questions. Is the leaked briefing real? Maybe, maybe not. Could the CIA be interested in manipulating universal consciousness? Absolutely, given their history. And do you have the power to reclaim your own consciousness and create positive change? Without a doubt. These answers may not be definitive, but they should provide a basis for further exploration and critical thinking. Shift the focus from seeking absolute certainty to embracing the journey of discovery. As we release the tension and close this discussion, remember that even in a potentially manipulated world, you have the power to reclaim your own consciousness and create positive change. It may seem that all is lost, but the elites are losing their grip because of people awakening to their full potential. As you continue your journey, ask yourself, what are the ethical implications of universal consciousness technology? How can we create a more conscious and connected society? Are psychedelics a tool to help understand the nature of universal consciousness? What is the role of these molecules within the pineal gland? These questions will guide you as you delve even deeper into the mysteries of consciousness and reality. Continue to explore. Research quantum physics, ancient mysticism, and psychological manipulation. Explore the works of pioneering thinkers like David Bohm, Carl Jung, and Rupert Sheldrake. The more you learn, the more empowered you will become. Share your own experiences and insights in the comments section. Let's create a community of conscious explorers, supporting each other on the path to awakening. And be sure to subscribe to the channel for more content on consciousness, spirituality, and empowerment. We have upcoming videos on specific techniques for accessing universal consciousness, protecting against manipulation, and harnessing collective consciousness. As you go forward, remember this: you are more powerful than you know. Embrace your potential, protect your consciousness, and create a better world. Question everything that you think is right to reveal what the true reality is. Do not follow things just because they are a societal norm or because a political figure said so. Awaken to your potential, take control of your consciousness, and shape your own reality.